Universe.
Greetings, I'm Shad, and I want to share something pretty cool with you guys. So, a little whiles back, I made a series of videos that were inspired by the combat and weapon animations and weapons in Elden Ring. I really enjoy the game, but there were some things that, were quite a pet peeve, and it was in some of the weapon animations in regards to how they depicted the character using medieval weapons as opposed to other, because there were other weapons where the animations were pretty solid, okay, and then other ones where it was just nonsense. Swinging around them like I could barely use them. And so I made a kind of a response sharing, all right, you could actually do these same animations, time the same way, get the same telegraphing, get the same benefit out of gameplay, but have them far more historically valid, even if not historically, just functionally realistic. That would increase immersion, and I was really happy with that video. And then in a follow-up, I also did something where it's like, okay, if game developers need references to see what some animations, weapon animations founded on functional swordsmanship, if they need those references, I could make a video giving some examples. And I tried to kick off an initiative called Medieval Combat Reference, where I invited others in the community to make some videos with that hashtag, showing some combat references themselves. And I mean, a couple of people actually made some really good videos in response to that. Living in Anachronism also did a great video on it. So there was a number of people who made some videos showing some combat reference animations, and they weren't digital forms, but there were people showing what you could animate a digital character doing as a reference to make it more realistic. Well, it turns out a game developer has actually taken a bit of inspiration from that, and I wasn't even expecting it, because they let me know after I saw one of their models and complimented based on how great it looked, right? Without realizing that they watched my content or took any inspiration to begin with. I just saw it and thought, this is really, really cool. And so it was this right here on Twitter. Let's actually make it a little bit bigger and expand it. And so a game developer, this is for Knight's Path, right? Posted this, and you might think that it's just a character walking. No, there's a lot more to this than that, specifically how the armor is interacting with the character. Do you see how it's not stretching? Okay, it's actually solid armor that moves with him, but the armor pieces themselves are staying in shape, whereas this rarely happens with video games. In most video games, especially the pauldrons, they're like glued onto the person. When the character moves their arm, the pauldron just stretches. And when they move their body, the chest plate just stretches like it's made out of rubber. And for people that love medieval stuff, it's a pet peeve. It has always bothered me, even being a bit immersion breaking. And one of the recent games that I've loved, Dragon's Dogma 2, really does that to a big extent. And some of the armor designs look great, actually founded on some proper historical references, right? But then you have it flexing around like rubber. And then Knight's Path posted this, and I was like, yes, finally. In fact, what I actually say is I've been waiting this for so long. Seeing steel armor bend and flex on 3D characters like it's rubber always destroyed the immersion for me. This looks so damn good. And this is Knight's Path, they say, showcasing, showcasing our rig in motion. Tassets are physically simulated, and nearly every plate is adjusted with pose drivers to ensure no bending, just realistic movement and sliding as the plates interact. Which is, I would love every bit of armor in every video game to be like this, because it looks so good. Looks realistic. Well, then, Knight's Path responded. To my surprise. And they said, glad you like it. We wanted to thank you because your initiative, medieval combat reference, was for us big inspiration. And that is just phenomenal. I was just like, oh, chuffed to the moon hearing that. Because I put stuff out. I don't know if anyone, listens to me. But it turns out these wonderful people did. They said, we always wanted to do combat more realistic based on HEMA and let the player characters learn it progressively. So you start as a novice, you hold the sword wrong, and you swing it like in Dark Souls, but slowly you learn the right stances and guards and how not to overswing each attack, and with each skill level your animation completely change. And when you reach the master skill level, you're an absolute HEMA beast. That is friggin' phenomenal. I mean, I'm genuinely intrigued in what they're going to put out if that's their approach to it, because I think that would be brilliant. And then they literally link my video, a gift to game devs depicting medieval combat, hashtag medieval combat reference. And in that video, I literally go through some examples of combat animations you could put on a character based on historical and functional combat. I like swords, short swords, shield animations, dual wielding, move sets, axes, and I'm pretty happy with the video. It, did all right. 150k views. Still did not know if anyone ever even, like any game developers, actually took inspiration from that. It turns out, yes, they did, and they're already putting into practice, which, I mean, is absolutely genuinely awesome. That is so cool. And Knight's Path, you have my attention. Not because, you've watched the content. You've drawn my attention because the results speak for themselves. I was like, this looks so good. But yet, I, of course, have to say it's particularly awesome that some of these results are, as they say, actual inspiration from some of the things I've been encouraging in my videos over the many years. Awesome. That is so cool. And I really want to share it with you guys. And also, I mean, go check out what they're making here, Knight's Path. I'm already following them and I can't wait to see what they make. So thank you guys for watching. Hey, why don't you check out that original video? This is actually a series of the one that I made in response to Elden Ring and then the medieval combat reference video exactly to see what some of my suggestions are. So I hope to see you there. And until that time,